My name is Marc Matney. I play Ken Nakajima, the White Hawk of Bokuto, and you're under arrest. In addition to playing Ken Nakajima, of course, I also played Daimaru Nakajima, which is his dad, okay? Which I guess probably most people didn't know. What I thought was kind of interesting is when I did the audition for that, we sent, Scott sent all the auditions over to AnimEigo, and nobody realized that it was me doing the voice. And when they picked me, so I thought that was kind of a big stroke to my ego, that they didn't recognize me as being the same person who played Ken. So that has been a very interesting challenge to play a character and his own dad, especially in the scenes. There's several scenes where Ken and Daimaru, of course, are talking back and forth, and Daimaru inevitably ends up putting Ken in a headlock and they start wrestling and choking each other. So it's very bizarre to hear be like wrestling with yourself, doing two different voices and hearing them bounce back and forth. I'm actually an Army brat. I was born in Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, not in the prison, however. But my dad was in the Army, so I've lived in Germany, Hawaii, Alabama, all over the world, which hopefully got rid of my southern accent, although when I go to places like New York, they immediately peg me for being from the South. But I've been in North Carolina now since about 1974, I think, so I pretty much call North Carolina home, I guess, at this point. And I've been in Wilmington since 1987. So. Well, in college, I went to UNC Greensboro and majored in theater up there, so that was my theater background. And as I was in college, I really realized I was more interested in film and television than I was in theater. So, of course, I heard about the studio down in Wilmington, and my brother was going to school down here. So I came down, stayed with him a few days, kind of scoped out the scene, and decided this is the place to go. So my wife and I moved down here. She got a job as a teacher, and I worked as a couple of little crappy jobs first, and then I finally got work on a couple of films, extremely low-budget films that nobody's ever heard of. And I realized that the hours on film, 14 hours a day, 6 days a week, was really too much for me. So there was an opening at a local TV station, so I started working at WECT, which is the local NBC station here. Worked there for 7 years. I was the copywriter, creative services director. I wrote and produced commercials, did tons of voiceovers. I appeared in some commercials, so I kind of kept my acting skills honed a little bit there. And then about 7, 8 years ago, there was a job opening at one of the schools at New Hanover High School. So since then, I've been teaching video production over at New Hanover High School. My first anime part was back in, I can't remember the year, but was Bubblegum Crisis. I actually auditioned for Writing Bean when that was being produced here. Didn't get a part in that, but they remembered me, and I came back and did a very, very small part in Bubblegum Crisis. And then after that, had a role in Urusei Yatsura, Those Obnoxious Aliens, did a voice in that. Boy, and since then I've done Crusher Joe. I've done, the biggest part probably before Ken Nakajima was Inspector Zenigata in Lupin 3, The Legend of the Fuma Conspiracy, which I did, which was a great part, had a lot of fun with that. So I've done bits and pieces over the years, but of course Ken Nakajima is pretty much the biggest role I've had. So I want to give huge props up to Scott and Pamela down at Costal. They've done a fabulous job. I know they're under an incredible amount of pressure. I mean, they're cranking these things out left and right. Scott is like a vampire. He never comes out during the day. He's in that studio till 4 o'clock in the morning, dubbing, mixing, doing all kinds of stuff. And Pamela, of course, doing the same thing. So it's really amazing to me, what they do. That's right. This is she's the second generation of Matneys to appear in You're Under Arrest. I have 2 kids, Paul, who's 5, and Rachel, who's 8. And Rachel, of course, was one of the Strike Brigade in one of the episodes. And so it's a lot of fun for us to do. In fact, we just did a show. One of the things I have done over the years is some theater. I hadn't done any in a long while. But my daughter expressed some interest in doing it, so luckily we found a show, Ebenezer, that a local guy here had written, that we both got parts in. So she and I got to go to rehearsals together and do all that sort of thing. And so that was a lot of fun. That was back last Christmas of 2001. So in fact, she liked it so much that when it was over, she cried for like 3 days. She was so depressed that it was over with. So I'm afraid that Rachel has gotten the acting bug through doing some of these voices and being on stage. So I'm afraid that she's going to be like me and be a ham and want to get up on stage and make a fool out of herself. And like I always told her, you can never go broke. If you're willing to make a fool of yourself for money in public, then you can always find a job. So that's always been one of my rules that I've lived by. So.
What is your name?
Rachel.
Your whole name?
Rachel.
Rachel Marie Matney.
Okay. Rachel Marie Matney.
And how old are you?
8.
Okay. What grade are you?
3rd grade.
And you remember all the characters you played?
I can only think of Maho.
Maho, you did the laughing and what's called the incidentals, right?
Right.
Okay, and then you played one of the Strike Brigade.
Mhm.
Okay, so those are the 2 that she's done.
What was it like working as those characters?
It was fun. It was very fun.
What was Maho like?
She was cute. I wish I got to play the whole part.
Which parts did you play?
I did the laughing and the crying. I think I said one line. I said, "Thank you, Santa Claus.
You do
Come
the
back
voice,
again
can you do it?
soon."
Can you do the Maho voice?
I didn't say right.
Sound like a 5-year-old?
No.
No. What voice did you use when you did the Strike Brigade part? You remember?
Just my normal voice.
Oh, your normal voice. Okay.
Do you remember that line?
And what did you say?
Somewhere.
I had a bunch of lines.
Remember one?
No.
No.
What was it like working with Scott and Pam? Did you have a good time over at Coastal?
Yeah.
You worked
I
with
did
Pamela,
have a good
didn't you?
Yeah.
Right.
It was fun. She was nice.
Mm-hmm. And what did Pamela, how did she help you do the voices? Do you remember?
Most of the time she gave me my lines and she told me, and they were numbered, and she told me which one to say.
Mhm.
And if I said it too fast or anything, she'd say, "Okay, you're going a little bit too fast, you're going a little bit too slow. I want you to slow down.
Mhm.
A little faster."
You enjoyed being a voice on the cartoon?
Mhm.
You brag about it to your friends?
No.
Yes, she does.
No.
We're waiting for the episodes to come out so she can take them to school and tell everybody, "That's me, that's my voice on there," right?
Aw.
Yeah. Well, I know I would if I were you. So.
What would you say to the fans out there who are watching? What would you like to say to them?
Hi.